Workplace problem solving. Troubleshooting workplace problems. Imagine that you work in a clothing store and a customer wants a certain sweater in blue. You have the sweater in brown and green, but not in blue. You have a problem that needs to be solved in order to help the customer. What would you do? Understanding the problem-solving process. Learning how to solve problems will help you in school and with your future job. Follow these 6 steps for solving problems. 1. Identify and clarify the problem. 2. Generate alternative solutions using creative thinking and logical reasoning. 3. Evaluate the possible results of the solutions. 4. Decide on the best solution. 5. Put the solution into action. 6. Evaluate the results. Step 1. Identify and clarify the problem. When an obstacle stands between you and something you need or want, you have a problem. The wise move is to see the problem clearly for what it is, a situation that needs a solution. Assemble all the information you can about the problem. Ask specific questions, stay as objective as possible, and make sure your information sources are reliable. Lewis is an assistant at Avery's, a local hardware store. One day, Mr. Avery, the owner, tells Lewis that business has been slow. He asks Lewis to think about possible solutions to the problem. To clarify the problem, Lewis makes this list of questions. Are fewer people coming in? Are customers spending less money? Do people want a different selection of goods? Do people expect lower prices? What products do other local hardware stores offer? By asking their regular customers these questions, Lewis and Mr. Avery clarify the problem. People are buying fewer of certain kinds of items, specialty tools, because the selection is better at a new home supply store that recently opened nearby. Step 2. Generate alternative solutions. When you are working alone to solve a problem, strive to think creatively. For instance, try to approach the problem from a different point of view. Seeing a situation from a new perspective can help you identify new solutions. Here are a few strategies for creative thinking. If an idea comes to you, record it right away. Use graphic organizers such as spider maps and clustering webs to associate groups of ideas. Create a model, picture, or symbol to represent the problem. Revealing the shape of a problem can expose a solution. Use an analogy, a seeming similarity between two things that are otherwise dissimilar, to suggest a solution. For example, this problem is like a game of basketball. We need to pass our product from one member of the team to another more quickly. Question assumptions, which are beliefs you take for granted, and beware of unspoken assumptions. For example, you might ask, are we assuming that all our customers are men? Brainstorm. In problem solving, it helps to have more than one person involved because different people have different experiences. Brainstorming is a problem-solving technique that involves the spontaneous creation of ideas. It can be done alone or in a group. Let ideas flow. As you brainstorm, try to think of as many solutions as possible, no matter how impossible some might seem. Do not evaluate or judge those ideas right away. If you judge your ideas as you create them, you will disturb the flow of your thoughts and hinder your mind from thinking creatively. There is no disadvantage to creating a long list of possible solutions. After all, multiple solutions increase your chances of finding a successful solution. Get organized. When you plan to participate in a brainstorming session, it is a good idea to get organized before you start. Identify the problem that you want to solve and select a group member to be in charge of recording all of the ideas produced in the session. Make sure that everyone in the group feels comfortable sharing his or her ideas. Mr. Avery, Lewis, and Kim, another assistant, brainstorm one afternoon. Each proposes ideas such as having a sale, lowering prices, putting up a new sign, and expanding the selection. Step 3. Evaluate the possible results of the solutions. After you have come up with some possible solutions, you need to evaluate how well each one will actually solve the problem. List the specific results, both positive and negative, that may follow each possible solution. Which one best meets your short-term and long-term goals? What impact will the solutions have on you, your team or department, and your customers or clients? When you have answered these questions, you are ready to decide on one solution. The problem-solving team at Avery's now looks at consequences, or results of the different possible solutions. Mr. Avery cannot afford to lower prices or to put up a big sign. Expanding the selection of all the items in the store is impractical because Avery's does not have the space. Step 4. Decide on the best solution. When you choose a solution, remember that you are choosing the best one under the circumstances. Few solutions are perfect, and occasionally time pressure forces you to choose when you are not quite ready. Stay calm, focus on the problem, and decide. You may have doubts when choosing a solution. However, using the problem-solving process should allow you to feel confident that you have addressed the matter at hand in a responsible manner. Making decisions and solving tough problems can empower you and make you feel good about yourself. Most employees enjoy the rewarding feeling they experience when they have made a challenging decision, even though the problem may have caused some frustration. Lewis, Kim, and Mr. Avery decide that the best solution is to expand the selection. They will increase the selection of certain items, such as hammers, and specialize in tools. Although the team at Avery's is not completely sure that they have made the best decision, they know that they have weighed the evidence carefully. Now they are ready to move on the next step of the problem-solving process. Step 5. Put the solution into action. You may need to explain your solution to coworkers in order to put it into action. Identify the exact steps that everyone needs to follow, then move ahead. Mr. Avery takes action. He stops offering house paint to make room for a greater selection of tools. He orders and stocks the new items, sets up the new displays, and advertises in the local newspaper. Step 6. Evaluate the results. To evaluate a solution, look at both its benefits and its drawbacks. Be objective in evaluating a solution. If your solution is working, you should be able to see benefits. If the solution has drawbacks or creates new problems, identify the drawbacks and problems and correct them. On-the-job problem solving is a continuous process. Finally, ask yourself what you have learned. Apply what you learn to new situations to prevent similar problems in the future. At Avery's, the greatest drawback is eliminating best-selling house paint to make room for new tools. Tool sales are increasing, however, so the benefits outweigh the drawbacks.